Hello and welcome to another video. So in this one we're going to be looking at a couple of races from Daily Race B at Red Bull Ring in the Group 3 cars. So going straight into my qualifying lap here. So braking just at the 100 metre board for turn 1. Trying to stay, keep your two wheels to the right of that yellow curb on the exit or you'll get a penalty. And then running up to turn 2 or 3 depending on whether you class that little kink as a corner or not, and braking just before the 100 metre board that time. Down to first, turn in, accelerate out and change up to second as quick as you can to reduce the wheel spin. And again, just before the 100 metre board again, braking. Trying to clip just the inside of the curb. I think I took a little bit too much curb there, and then you can run onto the outside of the curb on the left. And then a 50 metre board this time, just braking and trying to trail brake in, and then just letting the car come round and accelerating out as soon as you can. And then just tap a brake at the end of the curb and just let the car roll into the corner. And then careful on that curb, because as you'll see later on, there is a curb glitch on that curb that I suffer, so don't go too much on that curb. Brake at the marshals there, try and get the car right to the inside. Try not to go too much on the curb there or you'll get a penalty, and the same again on this final corner, and then just power to the line. And we managed to do a 1:28.6. So we're jumping straight into the first race here, and as you see we're starting 15th. We are using the replay because the first two races I forgot to record, and then a couple of the races that I did later on were not as good as these races, so I thought, well, you know, I'd just use the replays to make a video instead. So just coming round turn 1 now. Just doing nothing risky on the first lap, but you saw the car in front was warming his tyres, which Daily Race B, you don't need to warm your tyres as the tyre temps don't show anything, which if you want to know more about that and any proof about that, go check out Chris Doubtinator's video, because he's done a video on proving that the tyre wear being turned off means that the tyre temperatures don't come into play. So I'll link that video in the description if you want to check that out. But just carrying on with the race here now then. So he's still in 15th, but the German behind has dropped off. Rosso Corsa in front. You see we're all over the back of him at the moment, but nowhere to go. So let's see what we can do as the race goes on, because this is a top split lobby quite early on the Monday, so not quite when all the big boys are in, but you can see Mimi's in this one, Winchy, Kerb was in this one I think, so there's quite a few of the more better known drivers in this one, so obviously that's why we're starting near the back, but we're just after good racing, which is what we get. So it doesn't matter whether you're at the back or the front, you can still have good races. As you see, Splash there's got a penalty, and we're line of 3 on the inside there. And then Rosso Corsa manages to get them all, and we get blocked off a little bit and have to back out of that move. Well, Splash is going to serve that penalty, so we're going to get a place there anyway. But Rosso Corsa managed to get 3 places there at turn 2/3. So just coming round now, right behind Winchy and the Lamborghini, which I think was at this point top of the leaderboard, but it's a very sketchy car to control. If you can control it, you can be very fast, but there's not many people that can be fast in it without crashing. So we're right up behind him now, we've got Splash right up behind us, and Rosso Corsa's not too far ahead, and then the German at the back is not too far behind either, so we could have a 5-way battle on at the back of the field here. Just coming round to start the 3rd lap now. So thought Splash was going to go for the move then. By Winchy's the one ahead, it's Splash behind. So now we're in the slipstream. We'll see what happens here. Winchy going to go for the move. Oh, we got a half a second penalty. I don't know what that was for, because I don't think I went wide at all there. So I think I've been really unlucky with that track limit penalty. So unfortunately we're going to have to serve that and see if we can stay with this group. So try and move out the way, serve the penalty, try and get straight back in the slipstream as soon as we can to make that speed back up. But we're back down to 15th again, unfortunately. But it's still anybody's game at the back of the field here from 12th to 16th, I think. Still anyone could finish anywhere. So some great battling going on. As you see, the 3 cars in front are nearly bumper to bumper. We're not far behind them, and then the German's not far behind us either. We're coming round to the penultimate corner now. Can we close that gap? Is anyone going to go for a move? No, Winchy tucks back in, which is probably sensible there. And again, the final corner, I'm going to guess probably no one's going to go for the move there. We got a little bit of oversteer there, but we managed to hold it. Looks like Splash, no. I was going to say he might have been looking for the move into turn 1, but Winchy's maybe gone for the move, he has. So Winchy's got the move done into turn 1. Splash has made it 3 wide. So we're going to get behind Splash because he's on the inside. So we're going to bump him through so we can have the inside line as well. See if we can capitalise on this. Winchy squeezes us to the inside, which is expected. Ross of course switches to the inside and he tags us and he just sends us round. So unfortunately that's us out this race on the penultimate lap, unfortunately, but let's go back and look at what happened there. So as you see, we get to the inside, we're going to splash a bump through so that we can have the inside line on Winchy. Winchy and Splash and me all give each other space. Ross of course switches to the inside and he just pit manoeuvres me, just tags me on the back end. Don't think he did it deliberately, but we'll have a look and see what we think. You see, quite cleverly lets off early, but he goes to the inside. There's 3 cars there. You're never going to get it up the inside there. The German then gets on his inside and he just tags me round, but he accelerates into me, if you see there. So we'll just look from the German's point of view. And yeah, he just goes to the inside. I think silly move from Rosso Corsa there, I think. You know, I don't think he's deliberately spun me out, but I don't think that move was ever on, and he has totally took me out the race there because he accelerated into me as well. So unfortunately, after a good race and some good battling, we ended up in an incident and down in last place, but we might have ended up in last anyway. So just as we start this next race now, as you can see, we're in 5th and away we go. So it's slightly lower lobby now, so a couple of the more top drivers must have jumped onto Daily Race B at this point, or maybe we're finishing last. I might have lost a little bit of DR because we're door 2 in this one now, after being door 12 in that previous lobby. So hopefully this time we can have a battle up the front of the field. And you just see there, I just stay to the outside and flash my lights, which is my way of trying to signal to Civil in front there that I'm not going to go for the move. I'm trying to let him know, come and take the race in line so we don't slow each other down. As you see, I do it again here. I pull to the outside, give him a little flash, let him know I'm not going to go for the move on him so he can take the race in line. And in that situation, that helps both of us pull away. And as you see, we've pulled a little gap on Charlie in 5th there. So sometimes in these early laps, that's the best way to go about it, is work together with the car in front of you. Don't try and race straight away. If you think he's also got some pace, you know, work as a team and try and pull away from those cars behind, which we've managed to do. But unfortunately he's not quite got the pace of the front 2. But I don't know if I've got the pace of the front 2 either, because the Polish guy there is keeping up with Oscar by the looks of it, and Oscar's very fast. So Oscar's probably going to be lapping at sort of 8/10 a lap quicker than most of this field, in my opinion. So always going to be a struggle to keep up with them. You see, we won ride, but if you see, we lifted off there to try and make sure we don't get a penalty. So let's look, do we get a penalty or do we get away with it? Looks like we got away with that one. So I think that makes up for the last race where we got that dubious penalty. But if you do that, if you're running wide there and you know you're going off, if you just lift so you don't gain any time, sometimes the penalty system will recognise that and it won't give you a penalty, so it's definitely worth a shot. But as you see, that's allowed, but Charlie has managed to catch up to us there, and Cyril's gone off ahead by the looks of it, so that promotes us up into third, and we've got Charlie behind us in fourth with fifth and sixth right behind him by the looks of it. So we'll see if we can pull away from these guys now, which is obviously going to be our aim, and can we catch the front two will be the aim as well. But like I said, don't think I've got the pace of the front two, so with no one to work with, it's unlikely that I catch them, but we can definitely try and pull away from these guys behind now. But we'll see what happens. We're just coming round to start lap 3 now. And Charlie is there up behind us. So coming into turn 1, not close enough to go for a move. We get a good exit out of turn 1. Doesn't look like he gets quite as good an exit, so even though he looks like he's still in slipstream range, he might be pulling away. So coming up to turn 3 here. Yep, nowhere near close enough for a move, so we're definitely pulling away from Charlie now, I think. So I think we've got the pace on him, so let's see, can we chase them two in front down? Unlikely, but we're going to give it a go. But we skip ahead now to the final lap, and as you see, we have pulled away from the cars behind, but we've not gained at all on the two in front. I don't think they've pulled away much, so it looks like Oscar has, but we're maybe sticking pace with the Polish lad behind him, so we'll see if any mistakes maybe we can capitalise, but we've got to be careful of the two behind if we make a mistake. But they are battling away with each other by the looks of it, so we can keep the rest of this last half of the lap clean. We should have a podium here after finishing last place. Having a nice third place will be good, so let's see what we can do now in the second sector. Again, coming round into this double left-hander now. First one, nice on the inside of the curb, accelerate out, take all that curb, but try not to go 4 wheels over or you'll get a penalty. Onto that inside curb on the second left, onto the right-hand curb, and you see the car just goes. We hit that curb glitch, but we managed to catch it somehow. So now can we stay ahead of those two behind? Where are they? We're looking in the mirror, we get back on the racing line, and we do get into the penultimate corner before them, but they'll be carrying more speed than us. So coming through the final corner now, we do manage to keep hold of third place. But let's go back and have a quick look at that incident there from the cockpit view. As you see here in the cockpit view, right on that inside curb, across to the other curb, take a bit too much of the curb, hit that curb glitch, and somehow we managed to save it and keep it on. And luckily, as you can see, we managed to keep that third place. So nearly a disaster in the second race there, but luckily we held on to it. So be very careful on that curb, because I've seen it happen to a lot of people, that curb glitch in the past, so it's still clearly in the game. But we'll move on to the final race now, which I did remember to record, and we're door 15 starting 11th, so we're back in the top lobby now by the looks of it. So we'll see if we can do a bit better this time after finishing last in the top lobby last time. But I think this was the last race I got on Monday in the top lobbies, because obviously as it got later into the evening, more of the top guys jump on, so got less chance of getting into the top lobbies. But right up behind Winchy, who's now changed to the Aston Martin. So we know Winchy can be very fast, so we're going to try and follow Winchy through the crowd if possible. Already side by sides up ahead, but we're not going to go for a move here. We're just going to stick behind Winchy. Looks like there might be a bit of contact there. We get to the outside, come past, but we're going to be stuck on the outside here with Picasso. So Picasso's got the inside line, we've got the slip off Winchy, but we're going to break early. And California there's gone right up the inside there of Picasso. So now we're on the outside of Picasso again. So it just squeezes me a little bit to the outside. And we're going to hold it all the way around the outside of him here, are we? It just squeezes me off the track, unfortunately there. So we have to totally back out there, but we're still right up behind him, and we've got the run out the corner on him here. And he doesn't go defensive, so we've got the inside line into the penultimate corner now. Brake at the marshals. Bit later on the accelerator to give him that room on the outside, and we get the job done. So now we're just out of slipstream range of California, but we got a better exit, so can we close into that slipstream now? No, we just missed out on it, so we need a good turn one, and we do get that, and we're back in slipstream range, so we got a better turn one than the cars in front. So now we're going to use that slip to try and catch us back up, to get us back in that top 10 and back up behind Winchy. We're trying to use to help us follow through the pack if we can. Well, California's gone for the move. Winchy gets the switch back on him there, and they're going to go side by side again now. And we've got Picasso right behind us still as well in our slipstream. So let's see what happens here. Winchy does get the move done, and California sensibly just slots in behind him. Now coming round the two left-handers again now. Braking at the 50 mark, turning in, trying to clip the curb on the power as soon as you can. And again braking at the end of the curb. Touch the inside curb if you can, and on the power as soon as possible, making sure we don't run too wide and hit that curb glitch again, because we definitely don't want that happening when we're in the middle of a fight in the mid-pack. Again, we're just outside slipstream range again, but it looked like California got a bad final turn there. He might get a penalty for that, and he does. There's half a second and we're back in slipstream. So good turn one, and we should have the run on California here. But no, we get bumped wide, but will we get a penalty for that? It's going to be close again. Let's see, and we do, unfortunately. And again, that one I think was pixels at most there. But so now we're not going to try and go for the move or anything, we just want to close up. But it looks like the group in front bunch up, and we all get pinballed back a little bit, which doesn't help us there. And Picasso goes by, and he gets California as well. So hopefully we can get right back up behind this group again and see what we can do. Winchy's now got past Iron Doctor as well by the looks of it. So our decision to use Winchy early on was clearly a good decision, because he's moving up, but unfortunately we've not quite managed to follow him with getting that penalty. So going to be 2 laps left at the end of this lap, so we'll see what we can do. Still plenty of time, the group's all still together. Cars behind are still fairly close, the cars in front are still fairly close, and it looks like really only maybe first and second, looking at the mini-map, have pulled away. Then maybe third and fourth are a little bit of a gap, and then it looks like everybody else is in one big line. So it's a very, very close lobby this, and a very close race. We get no penalty that time, but will California get a penalty? It looked like he was maybe a little bit wide that time, but he's got away with it. So can we go for a move up into the hairpin here? No, we're way too far back. Take it easy. See what comes of it. We give California a little bit of a tap on the apex, unfortunately there. But we get the run out the corner. Car behind not quite in slipstream yet, but they're still hanging in there. But the cars ahead look like they're going 2 by 2. And there, California's got past Picasso again. Give him a little bit of a knock though. Let's give him a poor exit. So can we go around the outside this time? We're going to try it again. We're very good on this outside line, and we do get round him again, but again he just gives us no space at all. So I switch back to the inside, Little bit of an aggressive move from me there, not the sort of move I normally do, but I was a little bit annoyed that twice we'd held it round the outside of him and twice he hadn't quite give us the space. But as I said, I don't think it was anything bad from him, because as you can see from this race, he's clearly racing very clean, and I don't think there was anything bad in my move on him. I just think it was a bit aggressive, which is not normally my driving style, but you know, in those situations I felt a bit aggrieved, so I went for it. But Iron Doctor there's gone wide out of turn 1. Will he get a penalty, or has he been knocked wide? He must have been knocked wide, because he's not gained a penalty there. But California has got the run on him, so can we gain up close to him? See, we're going through in a group. The 2 cars behind are side by side as well. Someone's had an incident up ahead. Vegas, I think that was. So now California and Iron Doctor are side by side. And here we go, we're going to give California brake early, but California brakes really early as well. But luckily our bump just knocks into the apex, because I think he braked too early there, because I braked early with being in slipstream and he was braking at the same point. But luckily we got away with that one, so sorry for that bump there. So now coming towards the end of the lap, not many corners left now. Can we get up into 8th place? Let's see what happens, or will we lose any more places? Because this race has been so close all race round. You know, could end up 8th, could end up 15th, 16th. So let's see what we can do. California cut the corner a bit, and he does get a ½ second penalty there for cutting the penultimate corner. So we're going to cross the line and we're going to nick 8th place. And you see California there down to 12th, which shows how close this lobby was. Winchy up into 6th, but California there down to 12th from 8th with a ½ second penalty on the penultimate corner. So absolutely superb race that one was, in my opinion. Love that. So if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.